For me, if the Browns had competent quarterback play, they would have won that game. They would have actually won that game for me. But yeah, first Dillion Gabriel, then he was out the game with concussion. And then Shedeur, not a good game from him. To be fair, on Gabriel, he looked pretty smooth. I think he was 7 for 10, nearly 70 yards or so. But Shedeur, 4 for 16 for 47 and one interception. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. However, the Cleveland Browns are setting up Shedeur Sanders to fail. Yeah, I said it. They're setting up Shedeur to fail. Because I'm so happy that one of the Cleveland Browns reporters tweeted it. And then Kevin Stefanski actually said it in his presser after the game. Shedeur has had 0 snaps with the first team offense all season. And then obviously I was hearing on First Things First, Nick Wright and Greg Jennings both saying, oh yeah, that's normal, blah, blah, blah. Whereas on Nightcap, Shannon was like, bro, Shedeur should have had snaps. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Cam Newton's also said like there was, I think when he was a quarterback, the second string would have like 4 to 6 snaps with the first team offense and stuff like that. And I've seen many people say it's normal for a backup quarterback to have at least a couple snaps with the first team offense. Obviously, Shedeur had 0 in preseason, but this season because Dillion Gabriel was an injury. Weren't he on the injury list at one of the games this season? I might be wrong, but I feel like he was. From that moment onwards, you should have thought, okay, cool. Maybe we need to give Shedeur snaps, blah, 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 even if he's not going to play. Like, if Cam Newton supposedly said 4 to 6 snaps, what is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Nick and Greg, they both said, oh, yeah, no, it's normal for the backup. No, brothers. And I love you guys. But come on, man. You can't tell me there's no way you're not giving Shedeur snaps. I'm not defending his play, by the way. But even supposedly, I was reading comments today, the O-line or one of the offensive linemen said they didn't know his cadence. And everything just had to be worked on the fly. I'm like, so yeah. He made some throws where his receivers didn't catch it. Owuze for the Ravens made a big play, stopping one of those pass completions as well. So, yeah, it was just one of those ones. But the Ravens, as a team, they did what they needed to do. This is one of the few times I've seen Lamar Jackson not have a good game like that. If I'm not mistaken, it's the first game in Lamar Jackson's career where he's had 0 touchdowns but 2 interceptions. One of them being a pick 6 as well, which was, yeah, he didn't look as assured all game. Derrick Henry got over 100 yards. They needed that from him. And then the defense, regardless of the quarterbacks that they were facing, the defense stepped up. Their defense played really good. Kyle Hamilton even done Shedeur's celebration. I loved it. I loved it still. And like him, Starks, and then Wiggins, he could be hot and cold, but I'll tell you, that's some good core young players that the Ravens have got. So if the Ravens can continue flipping that switch like they did last year, obviously last year they went from like the worst defense to the outright best halfway through the season or onwards. And they seem to be turning the tide where they've been arguably worst defense to a solid to very good defense at the moment. Withstanding they've not played great teams as of yet in this run, but they're winning and they're doing what they needed to do. From 1-5, they're now 5-5, and they're still on job to win that division. Obviously, the Steelers won, but they better hope that Aaron Rodgers isn't out. On that Steelers game, Jamarr Chase 100% deserves the 1-match ban that he's got. I saw before recording this. For me, I said at the beginning of the season when Jalen Carter spat at Dak, spitting incident should be 2 game bans in the NFL, not 1, because you need to further deter it. Spitting in any form of life, sports, whatever, it's the worst thing. It's absolutely horrendous. And for me, it should be a minimum 2 game ban. So it deters players from completely even thinking of doing it. And they should just give Jamarr Chase an extra game ban because he lied and said he did nothing. These times it was caught on 4K, on 8K. And Jamarr Chase, come on, man, you're better than that. Obviously, I know you're having a frustrating season, brother, but you're the best player on your team. You're the best wide receiver in the NFL. Regardless if your offense stinks or your team stinks, the leadership aspect, that shouldn't happen from you. You can be frustrated, but that, nasty. And Jalen Ramsey's like reaction, completely understandable. Completely understandable. But obviously, everyone thought he was in the wrong first until we got that video footage of him being spat on. Fully understand it. The NFL should even rescind his fine if they've given him one or if they're going to, because that any spitting any reactions deserve, bro. Anything. But yeah, that was just some nasty stuff.